Hello everyone, how are you doing today? This is another beautiful day. I know you are doing good. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. How are you? Welcome back. Happy to be with you again. Like I said, you'll be wondering what kind of hairdo is this. This is our African hairdo. And besides, I decided to wear this kind of hair because the weather is too hot. The summer is killing. It's just too hot. What can we do? So let's get down to the main reason why we are here. Someone left a message for me and asked if she could get my number, that there is something she would like to discuss with me. And I said yes. I sent my number across to her. She then called me and narrated a story as a young girl, a very bitter experience she had when she was just 12. And she said that experience is now haunting her. She went ahead and told me what happened to her. She said her father died while she was just 12 years of age, and that led to them facing some difficulties as at then. She said the difficulties were so severe. What do you expect? She said her father was the breadwinner of the family, and that led them to face some financial difficulties. She said since the financial difficulties became so severe, they had to move away from where she was born, where they were living, and she said they were living at Ikoyi in Lagos State. They had to resettle in another area called Mushin. You know, those of you that have lived in Lagos. For those of you who do not know Lagos very well, the difference between Ikoyi and Mushin is so wide. Ikoyi, we know they say it's for the big men, those that are wealthy, but Mushin is like, just imagine it. So it was very difficult for us to cope. The change of environment and the kind of lifestyle were quite different, so it was difficult for her to cope, especially going to school all the way from Mushin to Ikoyi. It was difficult for her. Entering bus, Molwe, you know what I mean by Molwe. Transportation is very, very difficult in Lagos. You had to drag to enter bus. I might not know of now, but I'm talking about those days. Push. If you don't drag, you can't. So she was an ajabota, like they used to say. So it was difficult for her to cope. So comparing that kind of lifestyle to when her father was alive, that her father's driver used to drive them down to school in a jeep. Because she said her father had a jeep and the driver used to take them to school. They sold all their vehicles in order to be able to adjust to the new life, because the breadwinner of the family was no more and things turned the other way around. So they had no car, as and when she was telling that's what she said, that's at this time that this thing happened. Because of the difficulties, the situation they were facing, her mother then decided that she go and live with one of her relatives that is like an uncle to her, who lives in Ikoyi. There, where her uncle lives in Ikoyi, is not far from her school. So to make it very easy for her to be able to walk down to school every morning instead of going through the stress from Mushin to Ikoyi. So she went to start living with her uncle there. She said she really enjoyed it in the beginning, that it was very good for her, that she adjusted well with her new family. You know, that everything was moving on fine for about a month before she experienced a bitter ordeal with her uncle. She said she was offered a private bedroom in the house, very close to the children's room, and she really liked it because most times she's with the children, helping them out with their school assignments. And the children would even want her to stay with them in her room. Her uncle's children really liked her. And most times they prefer her sleeping in their own room. When she tells them she's going to her room, they're like, no, auntie, stay with us. So they will sometimes sleep together after the assignment, watch the TV together and sleep off. But whenever she's sleeping in the children's room, her uncle would come at midnight to wake her up and ask her why she's sleeping in the children's room instead of her sleeping in her own room. So he tells her, go to your room. It's better for you to sleep in your room, not in the children's room. She said whenever she's sleeping in her room, the uncle would come at midnight, open the door, go to the wardrobe and start looking for things, even go close to her bed. He's always busy looking for things and start asking her, did you see this? I don't know where I kept this, just to wake her up. She said this continued for some time, that one night she was sleeping, she noticed someone touching her breast. You know, she used the word like caressing her breast now. And she woke up and was like shocked. It's her uncle. And she said, uncle, what is it? The uncle's reply was, don't worry, don't be afraid. I want to buy you some bra and I would like to know the measurement of your breast, the size of your breast. That's why I'm measuring your breast so that I can get some bra for you. Don't be afraid, okay? Everything will be fine. She said at first she was not comfortable, but the uncle told her, don't worry. She said she never believed what happened to her could ever happen because she has never, you know, she has this love from her father, you know, and this uncle came tying towel. She never knew that her uncle was up to something. She said why the uncle was just, all this happened, according to her, happened so briefly, that why the uncle was measuring the breast, she noticed something and she tried to like forcefully push the uncle, but she couldn't. And before she knew what was happening, her uncle pushed her on the bed and forced her, you know, held her hands, used one of his hands, held her hands backward, pushed her on the bed and used one of his hands to cover his mouth, that she couldn't just scream. She was just 12 years of age. And before you know what's happening, the uncle forcefully had sex with her, because that's what I would call it. Let me use the word rape her, you know. raped her, and that really, really destabilized her. She said she cried. The uncle was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It's okay. Whatever you want, I'll give to you. Everything will be fine. Oh, I didn't know this is your first time. Just take it easy, okay? Don't let my wife to know about this, so she'll get angry with you. So she said, believing what her uncle said, that the uncle's wife would get angry with her when she knows she didn't have the guts to tell the wife of the uncle, and she kept this to herself. She then told her uncle that weekend that she is going back to her mother's place. She got to her mother's place. The worst of it is that she never told her mom. She just kept everything within herself, and it ended that way. She said she had been in the pain. She's been living with the pain of that wicked, ugly incident. And I said to her, when you got to your mom's place, why didn't you tell your mom and tell your brothers and your sister? She said she couldn't because she had the belief that mom was going to beat her up. For her to have agreed. What I really asked her was, why did you keep this a secret? You had nobody you told this? She said nobody, absolutely nobody, that I am the first person she's calling. For the past, I don't know, she's married now with kids. She said she's been traumatized for years. Whenever she remembers what her uncle did to her, she finds it difficult to do any other thing that day. That the whole of that week is useless to her. She lives in pains. And I went further to ask her if her husband is aware of all this she's telling me. She said no, that she has not told her husband, that nobody knows about it. I am the first person that is aware. So I asked her, why are you telling me and what do you want me to do about this? So I told her to make sure she tells her husband that her husband is supposed to be aware of this. And she said she was asking me this, or telling me this rather, for me to tell her what to do, if she should go to Nigeria and confront the uncle, or let her family know, and she's asking if she could open it up for everybody to know what has happened to her. I told her first to go and discuss it with her husband. She should call me there and tell me what her husband concluded about the whole thing. She called me 2 days ago and told me that she has discussed this ugly incident with her husband, and her husband felt so bad about it and encouraged her to tell her family, and just to make sure that this pain goes out. She is not happy, like she told me. She said she doesn't know what to do, that she would like to really embarrass that uncle, go to Nigeria, and I don't really know. So she said I should throw it out to people to discuss. What do you think? She said she's not happy with everything that has happened to her years ago, that if she should still go to Nigeria, get this man arrested. I told her that is even the worst, because no evidence, and it's long, especially in that country. She's going to prove she can't do anything. People might even laugh at her, and the police will tell you we don't know what to do. So she's not happy. She said I should throw it out and ask people what she should do. Like I told you, she's married with children, and right now she's residing in Europe. In Europe with her children. She's got 4 children and her husband. This is so bad. This has been happening in our country. Nigeria, we know this is always happening. Parents, please be careful. I keep talking about this all the time. Mind, it's not everywhere you just ask your children to go. You tell them, go and live this uncle, go and live with this uncle. This auntie, go and stay with this uncle. You don't know what they are going through. Many girls have been molested. They've been abused. If they tell you what they are going through, I tell you, cry for them. Mind the people you ask your children to go and live with. Some are fond of leaving their children with their neighbors. I'm going out, but that this, but that, take care of my child. Which child? It's wrong. They rape them. They even do worse things to them. Be careful. All these people you leave your children with, many of them are molesters, so they molest children. They treat them the way they want to. They are, I don't know, useless, frustrated men. Please, parents, be aware. Just imagine what this woman is going through now. And I know that many children are still going through this. And many will still go through, because nothing is being done. Nothing. So many children don't say what they are going through. They keep it. I don't want people to know. I beg. I'm tired of talking about this, Jare. It's okay. Me, I'm tired of always talking about this thing, and it's like nothing is being done. It's making me angry. I really want something to be done to all these stupid molesters, this stupid rapists out there. And please, for those of you who are just joining us, if this is your first time of watching any of my videos and you like it, please subscribe. Thank you. And for those of you that have already subscribed, I am saying thank you. We are grateful. God will always support you in anything you do. Remember, God is there. I'm grateful. Thank you. Bye. See you next time. Stay blessed.